Hello and welcome to another weekly outlook video. So today I'll try to make it as short as possible and straight to the point. So as usual, we're going to start with DXY and we can start with the weekly time frame. And last week we were anticipating actually bearish move and this is what we got. And if you look at the past 3 weeks, you can see clearly that the price has been, we get an open, we expand, but then we've been closing around the same region, around this here, leaving behind wicks. So where we stand right now, I'm still anticipating bearish price action. So let's look at the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, you can see we have this inversion fair value gap created by price. So we might retrace to this inversion fair value gap and then we continue pushing price lower because we're anticipating bearish moves. So I want this to act as the higher time frame key level that can do that on the daily time frame. Or we might even fail to get here and we just get a retracement to somewhere here and then get the bearish move. Then maybe now Monday form a fair value gap, which Tuesday again we might. But either way, I'm watching this inversion fair value gap as potential key level that you want to see price use. So let's look at the 4 hour. So in the 4 hour, you can see we have this inversion fair value gap, which is still around the same region as our daily inversion fair value gap. We also have this fair value gap, which is still in line or at the same region as our daily inversion fair value gap. So this region around here is sensitive and we want to see price use it for bearish moves. So if we take a fib tool and measure, you can see 50% of this range is actually around this region. Let's look at USDCHF. So USDCHF and DXY, they are positively correlated. So wherever you want to see DXY is the same bias you want to see for USDCHF. And you can see again, last week we had this expansion higher before getting this bearish move. So if you look at the daily time frame, on the daily time frame, we have an inversion fair value gap at this point. So we might get a retracement to this inversion fair value gap, or we might even fail to get to this inversion fair value gap, then get a bearish move. But we are watching this inversion fair value gap. We don't want to see price violate it. And also we have this order block here that was formed by price. So if you look at the 4 hour, this is our daily inversion fair value gap. And on the 4 hour, you can see we also have a fair value gap here. So yeah, I'm watching that. So if price fails to get here, price might use this 4 hour to push price lower. Then maybe we form a daily fair value gap, which again on Tuesday price might now use it to push price lower or whatever. But I'm watching this. These are our important key levels or higher time frame point of interest. So let's look at GBPUSD. GBPUSD last week, of course, we were anticipating bullish moves, but you can see we had this bearish expansion, taking out these lows, these lows, these lows, before finally getting the bullish expansion on Friday during NFP and closing the week here. So let's look at the daily. So if you look at the daily time frame, we have this inversion fair value gap here, which is good because again, DXY also have an inversion daily fair value gap. So we want to see price use this inversion fair value gap for us to get a bullish move. So this is our potential higher time frame key level on the daily that I'm watching for GBPUSD. So if we look at the 4 hour time frame, we have where we have our inversion fair value gap. We also have a 4 hour fair value gap here. And you can see again, the inversion fair value gap is at the 50% of this range here. So this is actually a good place price should retrace to before giving us our bullish move. So Euro USD and GBP USD are positively correlated so that you can go do it on your own and mark your key levels. And of course, you should be expecting bullish price action also for Euro USD. So let's look at JPY Basket. And JPY Basket, of course, we've been watching this weekly fair value gap and price has just been around this region for some time now. And last week we had this bearish expansion, although we closed here. Now we have an order block here. You can have this as a weekly order block that has been created by price. So let's look at the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, we have this fair value gap here, which you can see we wicked. So we have not violated this fair value gap. Remember, wicking is not violation. Violation is only when we get candle body closure. So I'm watching this daily fair value gap. I really want price to go lower after we tagged this daily fair value gap on Friday. I don't want to see this getting violated. So if we violate this daily fair value gap and we get a candle body closure above this, and now we are back inside this weekly fair value gap, then that does not give me confidence of the bearish expansion that we want to see after price has tagged this weekly fair value gap. Because I'm sure you've seen we have price has been playing around this weekly fair value gap for a very long time. We get an expansion lower, and then again we go back and still uh, get this consolidation type of move or a choppy type of move. So for best bearish expansion, I really want to see price not violate this. So let's look at AUDJPY, which is negatively correlated with the JPY basket. So far, we have this order block formed here by price, and we also have this tiny volume imbalance here. So if you're going to get a bearish expansion, I'm watching these levels here. I don't want to see price violate this for us to get that bullish move. So if you look at the daily time frame, we have this inversion fair value gap here, which is around the same region with our weekly key levels. And we also have this fair value gap here, which is also around the same region with our key levels. So this is a good region to anticipate support for bullish moves. Our price might also fail to get here, and as you can see, we had this retracement that we almost tagged this inversion fair value gap. We might just get here and get that move. So we might fail to get to these weekly key levels and just get to this daily key level, which is still fine. So let's look at EURJPY. Again, EURJPY and the JPY basket are negatively correlated. If you're to expect the bearish expansion for JPY basket, we want to see bullish expansion for EURJPY. And on the weekly time frame, we have this weekly order block. So if you're going to get a bearish move, I don't want to see price violate this weekly order block. I'm looking at this as the weekly key level that can be used to push price higher. So if we look at the daily time frame, we can see we have this fair value gap here. This fair value gap is still is the same place as our weekly order block. So this is a good place that price can use to get support for bullish moves. And we're looking at these buy side liquidities as a potential target. So let's look at gold. And gold, we're at all-time highs. We were anticipating to get, this was actually our target last week, and as you can see, price actually got there. So far we have this fair value gap here, and we also have this order block here on the weekly. So are we really likely to retrace all the way? When anytime price is at all-time highs, it's always better to just go with the bars of all-time highs. So this fair value gap here, there's a high probability if we are really strongly bullish for gold, we might leave this as a breakaway gap. So let's look at the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we have this order block. So I'm watching this. Again, price is at all-time highs. You don't want to counter trend or reverse trade an all-time high. So I'm watching this. Unless this region here is violated and we also inverse this fair value gap, then at that point, I would anticipate that we might likely get a retracement to this to this weekly fair value gap and order block here. But as of now, I'm still looking at bullish price action for gold. So let's look at NAS 100. And NAS 100, we have been at all-time highs, and that's why I've been telling you, anytime price is at all-time highs, you don't want to counter trend or uh, reverse trade it. Most of the time, just move with the flow. You can see NAS 100, we have this fair value gap, monthly fair value gap, and we have been anticipating that we might get a deep retracement to this point here. But as of now, where price stands, it looks like we are just likely to still continue with the bullish moves, and we might even leave this as a breakaway gap. So that is why I say anytime you're at all-time highs, just move with the bullish all-time highs trend. So if you look at the daily time frame, we have this order block here. This is a daily order block, and pretty much That's all I see. So if you look at the 4 hour, we can see we have this 4 hour fair value gap here, and it looks like price has respected it. And we also have this 4 hour fair value gap here. So once we invert this 4 hour fair value gap here, then I'd be anticipating we should use it to get bullish moves. Of course, we still have our daily order block here. Remember, the market can do whatever it wants. This is just our key levels that guide us as we try to anticipate the next move of the market. So if you enjoy what I do, guys, subscribe to this channel. You can like and you can also leave a comment down below.